Hey, Daniela.
Hi. I can hear. Can you hear us? I'm gonna hang up the Teams. Yeah. Otherwise I'll get confused. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Can you hear us?
Co-host has stopped your video.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Daniela, you're muted.
We can't see you.
Can you show us?
No, non
I
c'è il
just
video,
want to
non
make
c'è-
sure that the lights are.
Non c'è il nostro video, è il nostro.
Oh, I can hit ask to start video.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
Start my
Vai
video.
via, vai.
Vai, Linda.
Great. Perfect.
Guarda che bel cielo, qui siamo. Ok, siamo là. Ok.
So how am I gonna hide myself so that people don't see me?
Che bella foto.
And then so they won't see me at all. Okay, good. Thank you.
It's two other cameras.
Okay, thank you. Okay, perfecto. Yeah, it is much darker now. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like you guys are in a movie scene or something. It's so cool. I love it. I feel like there's like a fireplace missing behind you.
Next time.
Next time we're gonna build
Next
one.
time
We'll do our best. Don't worry. Yeah, we can.
I'm joking. I'm
Nothing
joking.
is impossible for us.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the whole thing ready?
Yes. Let me. There's already people waiting. Huh.
There's Nancy and Jim Sanders already in there.
Yeah. Well, we won't let them in.
Very prepared of them.
Gosh, I
Wait. I think we are in. I don't think we're in the practice mode.
No, I
Was
don't.
there- Was there a practice set up for this?
Should be.
Yeah, I don't have the start webinar button at the top.
No, I don't have the start webinar button at the top. It's not in practice mode right now.
So what does that mean? We already recording?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
already recording, but that's fine. We can just cut the recording.
Okay.
Should I play music?
Yeah. Oh, Fabrizio, I didn't see. So we're gonna just pin. I wanna.
Okay, I'm gonna hop out
Okay.
and log in as a traveler to see what that looks like right now.
No, anche perché se non ci vediamo là non lo vediamo il resto.
Signori e signori, buonasera.
Maronna.
E voi quando fate il video, non è che vi faccio.
No, dai, te prego.
Can you all hear the music?
We can hear the music.
No, yeah, we can hear it.
No, you are muted by the host. Unmuted.
Unmuted.
No, it's
No, this is Spanish.
No, change it. In
Oh, sorry.
Italian.
I want to, can I just,
That one.
That
That one.
why won't it play? I keep clicking it.
Come è cominciata io non saprei, la storia è infinita con te, che sei diventata la mia re, di tutta una vita per me, ci vuole passione con te, e un briciolo di pazzia, ci vuole pensiero, perciò lavoro di fantasia, ricordi la volta che ti cantai, fu subito brivido sì, ti dico una cosa se non la sai, per me vale ancora così, ci vuole passione con te, non deve mancare mai, ci vuole mestiere perché lavoro di cuore, lo sai, cantare d'amore non basta mai, ne servirà di più per dirtelo ancora, per dirti che più bella cosa non c'è, più bella cosa di te, unica come sei, immensa quando vuoi, grazie di esistere. Com'è che non passa con gli anni miei la voglia infinita di te, cos'è vero che ancora sei, che porto qui dentro di me, saranno i momenti che ho, quegli attimi che mi dai, saranno parole però, lavoro di voce, lo sai, cantare d'amore non basta mai, ne servirà di più per dirtelo ancora, per dirti che più bella cosa non c'è, più bella cosa di te, unica come sei, immensa quando vuoi, grazie di esistere. Più bella cosa non c'è, più bella cosa di te, unica come sei, immensa quando vuoi, grazie di esistere. Grazie di esistere. Più bella cosa non c'è di te. Grazie di esistere. Se bastasse una bella canzone a far piovere amore, si potrebbe cantarla 1.000.000 di volte. Bastasse già, non ci vorrebbe poi tanto a imparare ad amare di più. Se bastasse una vera canzone per convincere gli altri, si potrebbe cantarla più forte, visto che sono in tanti. Fosse così, non si dovrebbe lottare per farsi sentire di più. Se bastasse una buona canzone a far dare una mano, si potrebbe trovarla nel cuore senza andare lontano. Bastasse già, non ci sarebbe bisogno di chiedere la carità. Dedicato a tutti quelli che sono allo sbando, dedicato a tutti quelli che non hanno avuto ancora niente e sono ai margini da sempre. Dedicato a tutti quelli che stanno aspettando, dedicato a tutti quelli che rimangono dei sognatori, per questo sempre più da soli. Se bastasse una grande canzone per parlare di pace, si potrebbe chiamarla per nome, aggiungendo una voce e un'altra poi, finché diventa di un solo colore, più vivo che mai. Dedicato a tutti quelli che sono allo sbando, dedicato a tutti quelli che hanno provato ad inventare una canzone per cambiare. Dedicato a tutti quelli che
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started in about 15 minutes. So until then, enjoy some Italian music.
in ogni senso hanno creduto, cercato e voluto che fosse così, che fosse così. se uscita di colpo lì un'occhiata di sole. Vorrei poterti ricordare, lo sai, come una storia importante davvero, anche se ha mosso il sentimento che hai, solo un canto leggero. Sto pensando a parole di addio che danno un dispiacere, ma nel deserto che lasciano dietro sé trovano da bere. Certi amori regalano un'emozione per sempre, momenti che restano così impressi nella mente. Certi amori ti lasciano una canzone per sempre, parole che restano così nel cuore della gente. Vorrei poterti dedicare di più di quel tempo che ti posso dare, ma nel mio mondo non ci sei solo tu, io perciò devo andare. Ci sono mari e ci sono colline che voglio rivedere, ci sono amici che aspettano ancora me per giocare insieme. Certi amori regalano un'emozione per sempre, momenti che restano così impressi nella mente. Certi amori ti lasciano una canzone per sempre, parole che restano così nel cuore della gente. Nel cuore della gente. Certi amori regalano un'emozione per sempre.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Crystal. I saw you just chatted. Hello to everyone. I want to let you know that we are going to get started in about 10 minutes. Feel free to start writing where you're from in the chat box. That's always fun. I see Crystal did that. So feel free to get that started and enjoy some Italian music.
Siamo vetro sottile, siamo duri a morire, siamo fiori in un campo pieno di mine, siamo come una terra senza confine, nati per essere, non per apparire, siamo esattamente quello che abbiamo da dire e serriamo le file quando il mondo ci ostile, della nostra passione non vediamo la fine. Tutto questo da sempre lo facciamo con stile, lo facciamo con stile. Siamo sassi lanciati contro il cielo che bucano la notte e arrivano alle stelle. Insieme siamo perfetti per davvero, siamo le cose più belle, siamo anime gemelle. Noi siamo scintille, siamo dinamite. Non hai ancora visto niente, il meglio deve venire. In ogni storia che conosci siamo a lieto fine. Siamo io e te. E slogan più bello non c'è, più forte forte di io e te. E amore più grande non c'è di io e te. Siamo un passo in avanti, nessuno dei tanti. Siamo vasi da sempre comunicanti. Siamo esattamente quello che non c'è da capire, che è così naturale che non lo puoi impedire. Yeah. Siamo sassi lanciati contro il cielo, che bucano la notte e arrivano alle stelle. Insieme siamo perfetti per davvero, siamo le cose più belle, siamo anime gemelle. Siamo scintille, siamo dinamite, non hai ancora visto niente, il meglio deve venire. Di ogni storia che conosci siamo il lieto fine, siamo io e te. E slogan più bello non c'è, più forte di io e te. E amore più grande non c'è, di io e te. Di tutte le cose che ho visto al mondo, non c'è niente di meglio che io e te. Di tutte le storie che hanno raccontato, di nessuna io credo più di io e te. Siamo dinamite, non hai ancora visto niente, il meglio deve venire. Di ogni storia che conosci siamo il lieto fine, siamo io e te. E slogan più bello non c'è, più forte di io e te. E più bella cosa non c'è, di io e te. Musica è guardare più lontano e perdersi in se
Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. I see we have some participants already here, which is so exciting. I see Crystal, Julie from Colorado, Pam from New York. Who else do we have? We have Nancy in DC. We have people from all over the place here. The Lofranco family who had a tour with Stefania in May of 2016. They're here. They're excited to see you. Margaret from Ohio, welcome. Start shouting out where you're from. We love it.
ed io mi accorgo che tutto intorno a me
Barbara from Las Vegas, welcome. So happy to have you here. Pennsylvania, we have Michigan, Minneapolis. Wow, from all over the place. California, Ontario, this is great. Nashville, Patty from California, Sandra from Toronto, welcome. Canadian friends are here. Illinois, that's great. Vancouver, we've spanned all of Canada. This is great. Cape Cod, one of my favorite places. Welcome, Yvonne. So happy you're all here. Great. People from all over the country here. We get started in just a few minutes. Oh, sure. I am just north of Boston. My name's Leanne. I'm just north of Boston in a town called Andover. So it's a little cloudy today in case you needed a weather report. It's a little cloudy in Andover today, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. Get started in a few minutes. Virginia. Hi, Lori from Virginia. Welcome. Williamsburg. That's great. LA. It's cloudy in LA. That is a bummer. Is everyone liking their Italian music? Everyone enjoying getting in the mood before we chat Italy? I hope so. Good. Glad to hear that, everyone. Hi, Scott. Welcome. Happy you're here. Hi, Linda. So happy everyone's here.
Io sento ancora le voci della strada dove sono nato. Mia madre quante volte mi avrà chiamato, ma era più forte il grido di libertà.
Thank you, Patty. You are so sweet. We have Texas in the building. This is great news. We have Jennifer from Ohio, Vicky from Illinois. We have San Antonio, more Texans. Another person from DC. This is great. Seattle, we have the Finger Lakes. Oh, we have a great group here. Colorado is definitely represented. Lindsay from Southern California, PA, yes, I love this. Savannah, beautiful city. We have Ohio. Hi, Carol. It's good to see you. We have Barb in Boston, Connecticut. We have Wisconsin here. Wow, we have everyone. British Columbia, Minnesota, Maryland. Wow, Ohio again. A lot of Ohioans here. Mississippi, Tucson. Great. Brunswick, Canada. New Brunswick, Canada. That's where my grandfather's from. It's great. Oregon, Ontario, Virginia Beach. Wonderful. Saskatchewan. Nice. Oregon's definitely represented here. Great. All right. I'm going to end our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Italian music here because we have some business to get to, which I'm very excited for. Let me just make sure you're all with me here. Perfect. Well, let's get started. Get started in on the fun. Ciao e benvenuto. Mi chiamo Lien e oggi parliamo della Italia. Hello and welcome. My name is Leanne, and today we are shining a spotlight on Italy. This is a country that is very near and dear to me because I studied abroad in Florence during college, and then I actually ended up moving to Italy after I graduated to a very small town in northern Tuscany called Barga. So thank you so much for being here and for sharing in my excitement. I'm joined today by three of our incredible tour directors from Italy, as well as the director of tour directors, which I will introduce to you in one moment. During this presentation, your cameras and microphones will be off, so the only people you'll see and hear are our special guests and myself. So thank you to those who have submitted questions ahead of time in our pre-webinar survey. Many of those questions will be answered during the presentation, and some we'll get to during the Q&A section towards the end. So if you do have questions that come up during the presentation, just feel free to submit them through the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. I know we're all so excited to hear what our tour directors have been up to these past few months in what I would call my favorite country I've ever been to, Italy. If you've gone on one of our Italian itineraries, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, I'm here to tell you it's exactly what you're picturing in your head. From the north of Italy, which hosts major cities like Milano and Venice, the middle of the country where you can see the rolling hills of Tuscany, Florence and Roma, and you can also take a trip down south with some of the most beautiful villages and beaches, ending in the ever cultural and iconic island of Sicily. As one of our top destinations, Go Ahead does make sure you never miss a beat. From beautiful historical sites, amazing hotels, to real Italian meals, and maybe a glass of world-class wine, you can feel the energy of the country and the warmth of its people. But what we ultimately want to do at Go Ahead is make you feel part of that culture, part of that energy and that warmth, and not just seeing it from the outside. So even with all of our inclusions, it's a tough goal to accomplish, but we're able to do it on every single tour because of our secret weapon, our tour directors. Our tour directors are the absolute heartbeat of our tours. They handle the logistics for you, like picking up at the airport, showing you major sites, getting you acclimated to your hotel and the city you're in. But they are so much more than logistics. They are friendly and kind. They make an effort to get to know every single person on their tour. They make you feel comfortable and taken care of. They know literally everything. I cannot believe one person contains so much knowledge about one country. They're smart and funny. They show you the hidden gems of the city. They teach you customs and bits of the language. They're human and understanding. They're problem solvers. They're hard workers, and they're extremely tired, but you would never know it. They're the smiling face you need when you land after flying all night, and they're the warm hug as you leave at the end of your trip. They're the face of Go Ahead, and they are incredible. So let's meet some of our tour directors joining us here today. We have Katia, Stefania, Linda, and Fabrizio. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so we can see all of our wonderful tour directors right here with us. Hi, everyone. And I am going to start with Katia. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Katia. I'm from central Italy, but I live in Rome now. And I joined EF over 20 years ago because of a friend who explained me about this world of traveling, meeting people. And I still love taking tours. And I try to do it with the same enthusiasm as 20 years ago.
That's great. Stefania?
Yes, I'm Stefania. I'm from Catania in Sicily, but 26 years ago I moved to Rome, which is also the year I started working for EF Go Ahead Tours, and I'm still doing it and I still love it.
That's wonderful. We're happy to have you. Linda, what about you?
I am from southern Italy too, not far from Naples, rolling hills of southern Italy. And I have been with EF almost all my life because I went with EF language travel as a student to England and I never left. I'm still here.
We love that. We love the lifelong travelers. Fabrizio?
I am actually from Latina, 30 miles south of Rome. It's the youngest province all over Europe, but we are actually in Rome, where I'm hosting these three wonderful ladies. I started with EF Educational Tours in 1999, and I think I can confirm now that we all started last century.
Exactly.
And I started as an ET Educational Tours for Educational Tours, graduated to Go Ahead, and started managing the community of TDs in Europe, Egypt, and Russia for Go Ahead in 2007. So for the past 13 years.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Great. So Fabrizio, I know you are planning a little something here. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Yes, I decided to host this meeting here, and there is a reason why. We have been locked down. Italy was the first country to be locked down, and we spent part of our lives inside our apartments. And this is the place where I spent these 3 months by myself, together with this work of art that were painted by my grandfather. He was an artist. He was a real artist. He was not doing this to earn a living, but he wanted to create work of art. Now, I remember my grandfather telling me that his work of art should have been seen by as many people as possible, whereas they were closing my place, but just enjoyed by myself. And they were screaming to be seen. Each Zoom meeting we had, I had staff asking me to show around these paintings, and I became proud of them. And let's say Italy is now like this place. It's full of work of art that are meant to be seen, and they are screaming to be seen, because work of art are done to tell something and to provide someone with special emotions.
They're very beautiful. I get very jealous on every Zoom call we have with all of those beautiful paintings. They're
So,
gorgeous.
and I will also prepare, while I leave you the ladies, with the ladies, I will prepare an aperitivo for them. This will actually be what we call in Italy apericena. It's rinforzato. There is mold and nuts and crisps and chips. Okay, so I'll leave the ladies to you with one question, because with my team we assign tours to the European Tour Directors, and I was wondering which is in your dreams when you receive our phone calls the tour that you would like to be assigned. While you answer these questions to our customers, I will leave you and get the aperitivo ready.
Sounds great. So ladies, which tour do you hope Fabrizio assigns you when you get that phone call from him?
Well, I'm going to start myself. When I received that phone call, I surely hope to get assigned a food and wine tour. And my favorite one is food and wine of Southern Italy and Sicily, so that I can show travelers every single bit of the Southern Italian coastline and inner areas, from Sicily, the beautiful island, all the way through the hidden gems of Calabria and Campania, and take them to the end of the journey to Naples. And they cannot have enough of having aperitivos. So just to summarize what Fabrizio was trying to say before, he's going to treat us to an apericena. Now, if you come to Italy, you need to get used to this. Before dinner, we want to get together, let's say after work, and have a glass of wine or Prosecco or a light cocktail like spritz. And it goes with some food. So Fabrizio has prepared the food, and I help prepare the spritz, but it's a special version. It's not the Aperol spritz that is so common to find in Venice. We made one that has wine from Southern Italy, spumante, and elderflower juice, the syrup that comes from Northern Italy, from Italian Tyrol. So we're going to have this refreshing drink together with the food that Fabrizio prepared.
That sounds unbelievable. I can't wait for Fabrizio to bring that out. Sounds so great. Stefania, what about you? Which tour do you hope to be assigned?
Well, unlike Linda, I prefer tours that go through Italy from north to south, such as Venice, Florence, or Rome, or the Grand Tour of Italy, that starts in Milan and ends in Sorrento, because I like to show the different aspects of the Italian culture to my groups. That, of course, changes from north into south, and of course, show the different beauties of my country.
That's great. A whole encapsulating tour. I love that. Katia, what about you?
Well, just to prove how different we can be, still being tour directors, My favorite itinerary is the walking through Tuscany. It takes you through small villages, through the olive groves, the vineyards. There is a lot of hiking, but most of the tours, of the walking tours, end in lovely castles, lovely villages where you can sit down and keep the tradition of the aperitivo every night.
That sounds great. I can't decide which tour I would want to go on. Each one sounds better than the last. So that's great. Either way, you'll be lucky, right? Well, I think we're all curious. What have you all been up to since the start of COVID-19?
Well, at the beginning, it's been a little scary. We were obviously not prepared to it. So we've been reading, I've been reading a lot. I've been preparing for future tours, trying to learn more of the itineraries that I normally take. And then I've been visiting those places that I had never been for many years because I never had all the free time that I happened to have this year after the lockdown, obviously. And so I tried to make it, it turned out positive at the end. After all the tragedy, we learned more and we visited and spent time with a family. That was also something we normally have difficulties to do.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
There you go. Well, there are two different moments for me during the lockdown. I've been baking every single sort of Italian cake, And after that, of course, because I was by myself, I was locked down, unfortunately, only by myself. I had to eat all these cakes by myself. So, of course, I did a lot of gym. I exercised. And then after the lockdown, I went, of course, to visit the hidden gems of my country that I didn't know, especially in the southern part of Italy.
That's lovely. I am jealous of your baking abilities. It sounds great. Linda,
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, at first, I decided to destroy my walk-in closet and build it all over again. And once the construction was done, I joined Stefania in some online cooking classes. So we cooked a lot, waiting for the lockdown to finish. And after I could get out, I decided to get down to southern Italy, where I am from. And lately, I also harvested grapes, which is the first time in my life, probably the last, but it was.
Wow, Linda, tell us about harvesting those grapes. What is that like?
I thought it would have been, that kind of romantic image about going harvesting the grapes, everybody singing and eating stuff. And I didn't think about the hard work part, I'll be honest to you. So the very first day was kind of shocking. I was stiff for quite a few days after that. And as Fabrizio says, he got fever the first time, the day after he went for the first time. I didn't believe it. I should have believed it. It's very, very hard work, but it's still very nice and enjoyable. It's such an old tradition. I loved it.
Oh, that's so nice. Next time we'll have to really listen to Fabrizio's warnings. That's great. So Katia, I know you said you've been exploring some hidden gems in your free time or places you haven't been to in your own country. What have those places been?
Well, I started with the region I am from, which is in central Italy, in the nearby of Umbria and Abruzzi. And then I went north to the Piedmont area, to the Piedmont region, and visited the area where the excellent Barolo wine is made. So I discovered places that I had seen in pictures, some of them, others I had visited long time ago. And so I think I want to go back again, actually. So I spent a few days in each area. And then I went in the southern part. I went back to Ravello, which is part of the Amalfi coast. It's a beautiful terrace up in the hills of Campania, not far from Amalfi. Actually, it's just a little above Amalfi, with gorgeous views over the sea and the surrounding hills.
Wow, I bet that was so beautiful.
Oh, yes.
That sounds amazing. Great. And Stefania, what are you teasing us with that baking? What have you been making?
Well, my favorite and the best cake I made was it's a Napolitan cake that we normally eat at Easter. It's very difficult. It takes almost 4 hours. It's made with ricotta cheese and orange zest and lots of other stuff that I cannot all describe, but it's absolutely fabulous. I had to eat it all in 4 days. It took 4 days and a lot of gym, but it was absolutely, pastiera napoletana is the name of it. It's absolutely delicious. That's the sign.
This means delicious, I learned today from Stefania. Delicious.
That was my favorite, of course, done tiramisu and many others, but that was very challenging and I was very proud of myself.
That sounds great. And thank you so much for eating the entire cake. I think you really just took one for the team there. Thank you so much for doing that.
I couldn't waste it, right?
Exactly. You can't waste it. So Katia, I'm going to turn to you and ask, how are you seeing people and small businesses faring during the pandemic?
Well, they've been struggling a lot because all of a sudden everything was shut down and there were no people. It's not just the tourists that were missing, but it was also the locals that didn't do their the routine. So going out for their regular shopping and so on. So it's been hard. After the lockdown, they reopened. They're still trying to go back to normal. It's going to be very slow, but they're putting all their energy and all their positive attitude in the efforts going back to their normal life in many ways. And I'm talking of every activity, little shops or little businesses that would sell fruit and vegetables, or restaurants, little pubs, literally everything was involved for the very first time. So it's been hard, but we're going through that.
Yeah, it's been tough. I feel like in the US too, little businesses as well. You know, you hope for the best. It's been really difficult. In changing topics away from the pandemic, right? Let's dream of better times. Linda, when do you think the best time to travel to Italy is?
Can I say every single day of the year?
Yes.
It really is. In a way, it is, because this country is so diverse from north to south, and we have a mild climate. And I do think that it is a country for every time of the year. But of course, if you're willing to stay away from the very large crowds, or if I have to name my favorite time of the year, I definitely like spring going into summer and fall.
Oh, fall is so beautiful. I think that's my favorite season, fall. Yeah. That's great. I think I agree with your initial answer of every single day of the year. That's wonderful. Well, Stefania, I know we just launched some solo tours, some solo group tours. Do you think Italy is a good location for people to travel solo to?
I think it is absolutely perfect for one reason. Of course, you will meet new friends on our tour, but when you go for a stroll by yourself and you sit in one of those beautiful cafes surrounded by all these monuments and gorgeous churches, I'm 100% sure that some Italian people will start talking to you because they want to know where you're from, you know, what your hobbies are. So we Italians talk to everyone, Italians and tourists above all. So it's the best way to meet the locals, especially when you travel by yourself, because the Italians will see you along and say, ooh, you know, let's talk to this person.
And make friends.
And you definitely make new friends.
Yeah.
So perfect.
I've definitely experienced that as well. The Italian people are just so friendly.
Whoa. Something is happening.
Oh my goodness, what is happening? Talk us through what's going on back there.
This is what you can consider an apericena. Apericena is a word, it's made of two words, aperitivo what should be consumed before dinner, and cena, which means dinner. So you can also replace your dinner with something like this. So this one is a rainforest version of an aperitivo, and Fabrizio is pouring our version of spritz, which we made and prepared a lot of different foods. For example, I'm sure that Stefania would like to talk about this because she has baked quite a lot of those.
Yes.
Look at this.
What do we have here? Wow. Are those pastries?
No. Okay, I know.
Oh, please correct me.
But
on.
also focaccia barese. It's similar to pizza. I mean, the dough is the same, flour and water and yeast. But in this case, you need to add a boiled potato, and then you bake it in a pan full of olive oil. Well, not full, but with a lot of olive oil. And then you normally top it with tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, but of course you can add whatever you like. It's absolutely fabulous. So what else do we have here?
Oh, I'm gonna take this. Can I take this big
Yes,
one?
please.
Because I think this one that Fabrizio made should be shown to the entire world. Okay, I'll do my best without destroying
And
everything.
don't let it fall over.
There is
Oh, wow.
I can tell you, we have a pie from Naples that is made with potatoes and salami and mozzarella. We have goat cheese with honey and walnuts. And we have a frittata, an omelette made with pasta. Because you know what? We don't waste anything. So if you have pasta that is left over, you can make an omelette with it. And you can have it cold or warm. It's a perfect antipasto, or it's a dish for your dinner, actually. And we also have some crackers made with corn, and this will pair with some cheese from northern Italy. So Fabrizio really went this one, the one that Fabrizio is showing you. It's called squacquerone. And I'm going to tell you something. Fabrizio did an excellent job because he basically traveled through Italy with everything he selected for this apericena.
Wow.
Also some bruschetta, I think.
Oh yeah, no.
There's some what?
We're going to show you the bruschetta.
Yep.
Because that's the way to say it, right?
Yes, bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Italian. There are, which is a slice of toasted bread topped with, we have three different versions. An olive paste. Then the next one is pesto, which is a basil green sauce, and anchovies. Then in the middle, you can see there is a slice of a special salami from central Italy. And they're all different. I mean, bruschettas are the most typical appetizer you can have with a drink. And you can use your imagination to top the bread, the slice of bread, with anything you like.
Wow. It's around lunchtime in the States. I think across the United States, I think we're all getting really hungry watching this. It looks amazing.
Can I just say one thing? I think Fabrizio, you see, his showing is perfect combination, which is
Parmesan and pears.
Oh.
You can actually have Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano, with pears or grape. But there is a saying in Italy that we try to translate. That is, in Italian it sounds, non, al contadino non far sapere quanto è buono il cacio con le pere. And we translated this like, don't make the farmer aware how good is cheese and pear.
Yeah.
So it's our secret.
yeah.
We
Okay.
we also want to give you a taste of Italian pastries. So, first of all, we have a typical tray of Italian pastries. Can you please show?
Yes.
Wow, you are spoiling us.
Yeah.
This looks so great. Those are beautiful.
Ecco, perfetto. Okay.
Do I have time, Eliane, to tell you something about another cake that I personally made for Stefania, Katia, and Linda?
Let's hear it.
I made a zuppa inglese. Okay, I'll show you. This should be one portion. It's very big. So let me tell you something about the zuppa inglese. The zuppa inglese, it's a sponge cake soaked in a liquor that is red. This liquor was made during the Medici time, with a little spider whose name in Arabic is Al-Kermus. This liquor nowadays in Italian is called Al-Kermes. No one knows that Al-Kermes means little spider, but we made this liquor out of them. Then what happened? British people used to go to Florence and enjoy a biscuit sucked in this red liquor. Florentine people were smart and they created this cake that is a sponge cake sucked with Al-Kermes and custard and chocolate.
Ooh. They made the liquor out of little spiders, or it's just called that?
It's no, they take the liquor out of the spider. Actually, the color is made with a spider.
Wow. That's interesting. We'll have to try one when we all go to Italy next time.
And please, Katia also baked some biscuits for us. And I think that she would like to tell us something about these biscuits. And there are 4 little glasses in the middle.
Yeah, it's a traditional almond cookie that it's named differently depending on the region where you are. So it's made with almonds. It's a very simple, basic recipe. And it used to be the cookies of the festivities, because you can keep it for several days once it's baked. And probably the Tuscan name is the most famous, Cantucci, or it's also called tozzetti, but biscotti is the easiest, biscotti alle mandorle. They are normally dipped into a liqueur, a dessert wine, which is called vin santo, or the region where I'm from, they call it vin dolce, which means sweet wine.
Vin dolce. That is one of my favorite desserts, the almond biscotti and the sweet wine. It is unbelievable. And I have great news for everyone here. We are going to send Katia's recipe around so we can all try and make our own, which will be great. We also have another recipe we're sending around. Linda, did you want to give us a little bit more explanation? I know you were talking a little bit about it before.
Yeah, this is the version of spritz that we make. So in a spritz, you normally put Prosecco. In some areas, they also use flat white wine, but Prosecco is kind of more traditional. Instead of using Aperol, we use the elderflower syrup, which is kind of easy to find in delis. This one is homemade, but you can find it. Then we use the fresh mint leaves and some squeezed lemon or lime, and some slices, thin slices of apple. And we're going to send you the recipe for the quantity. It's a very refreshing drink, not too sweet, not too bitter, and it's perfect with this type of food in the sense that you go from sweet to salty, different levels of salt. So you want to drink like this.
Yum. That sounds, I'm drinking my water right now because it's a little early for me, but that sounds really good to me a little later on.
As Stefania says, it must be 5 p.m. somewhere in there.
Yes, that's great. Well, we do have a few questions coming in from the audience here. We have one question from Brianna, who is asking, what is the average age of people on tour? I usually travel with EF Ultimate Break, but I'm going on a trip with EF Go Ahead with my mom next year. What would you all say?
I would say it's very diverse, and I'm telling you this. It also depends a lot on the time of the year, but our groups have changed throughout the years. So you really find a very mixed crowd. I have had some very young travelers with their families, and I also had couples in their 50s and 60s. It really is a diverse crowd. But you know what is the thing that I find the most exciting? That by the end of the tour, it's irrelevant the age group. Everything becomes so irrelevant. They all mingle very well. It's fantastic, especially when I had a group of former Ultimate Break travelers in Greece last year, Italy and Greece, and they were absolutely fantastic, and the ladies were taking care of them. It's such a great atmosphere. So I cannot confine them into an age group. I think it's very diverse nowadays.
Great. Anything to add, ladies?
I totally agree with Linda.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
happens very often.
that's a first.
We are recording this, so that's perfect. Linda, I'll send that to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna cut that piece and I'm gonna use it.
There you go.
Even more, Linda is right. Oh my.
Wow. You just made my day. Oh,
Linda, look at you.
fantastic. I'm the star today. Fantastic.
Yes, exactly.
Answer.
Stop it.
So we have another question. Beth wants to know, her question is, I have not yet scheduled a go-ahead trip for Italy. I have been with students though. Which trip would you all suggest as a first go-ahead trip to Italy, and what time of year for that?
Well, of course, as my favorite tours are the big combinations like Venice, Florence, or Rome, I think that if you've never been to Italy before, you should start with the highlights, of course, of our country. And of course, the canals of Venice is so romantic, and then the hills of Tuscany, different kind of course, landscape to end in our capital, full of so many works of art that it's absolutely breathtaking. So I would recommend definitely a tour like that, Venice, Florence, and Rome. And the time of the year, well, it depends. For example, I love the heat, so I like to travel in the summer. But some people prefer when the weather is not too hot. In that case, as Linda said, spring or the fall. But at the same time, if you're going to the southern part of Italy, so Sicily or the southern part, winter is absolutely fantastic. Let's say the average temperature is 50s, 45 to 50s. So it's perfect, you know?
Great, a little sample platter. I love that. Venice, Florence, Rome.
Yeah.
See it all. Katia, we do have one question for you from Julie, who wants to know if you'd recommend a substitute for the almond in your cookie, if someone's allergic to nuts or allergic to almonds.
Well, actually, I use the basic recipe for any nut, or you can use pistachios, you can use chocolate, you can use, well, you can raisins, exactly. That would be also an excellent substitute if you cannot eat almonds.
Or nuts.
Or nuts in general, pistachios though.
Great. Fabrizio, we actually have a question for you. I know you're just getting up. Sorry about that.
Why that they wanted to get rid of.
Oh, so what we want to know here is a lot of people want to know when they'll be assigned their tour directors. I think especially after speaking with Linda, Katia, Stefania, we're all really excited to connect with our tour directors again. We miss you all. So when can everyone expect their tour directors to be assigned to their tour?
Okay, we already started being positive, assigning all of those tours that group coordinators organized for the past season, and they're going to do during the next season. So we already started assigning those groups that are already in the system, with customers appearing and requesting the tour director. So that's very easy. Concerning the other tours, we usually assign tours if there is any special request, even 60 days prior the departure date, or minimum 30 days prior departure.
30 days. Perfect. We're all really looking forward to traveling again. I know that. Definitely. I know you all are too. So another question just came in from Tom. Tom asks, if you've already traveled to Venice, Florence, and Rome, maybe you've gotten your sample platter of Italy, what's another tour you would recommend?
Well, I would opt for a southern region tour, maybe Puglia, for example, which is on the, well, it's the heel of the country. It's on the Adriatic coast. It's a beautiful region, and it's not included in the the Grand Tour of Italy in the Venice, Florence, and Rome, which is the highlights. So you can get more of a southern experience with either that or Sicily. Sicily is just as beautiful, for example. Yeah.
Yes. I was on my way to Sicily when the pandemic kind of
Oh.
shut it all down, which is a bummer. I was so excited to go. I couldn't wait, but that's for another time. So Mary wants to know, I arrive in Florence 4 days early next September. What should I do?
Oh, in Florence? Oh,
Yes.
Florence is like a showcase of things to do. Apart from the museums and the hills surrounding Florence. So you can really do hiking as well as browse all the museums. Enjoy all the food you can because it's one of our foodie capitals here in the country. And it's also easy from Florence to take a side trip to one of the other small towns around the main city. And you really get a sample of what the Tuscan countryside is.
It's great. So which little towns would you recommend?
One of my favorite is Lucca. So I do suggest for someone who has time to go to Lucca and walk around and maybe rent a bike and go on the walls of the city, which is a kind of a unique way to enjoy a medieval city.
In this case, I slightly disagree with Linda. Lucca is beautiful, but San Gimignano, San Gimignano, it's so charming. It's a dream. It's a dream. You cannot miss San Gimignano.
I'm going to say it's true. I'm not going to say I agree because this is being recorded.
That's good. That was smart. Katia, do you have a town you would recommend as well?
Well, I like Arezzo as well. It's in the same region, easy to reach if you have some extra time in Tuscany. So, and yeah, just as charming, larger than San Gimignano and Lucca, lot of art. And you might remember if you saw, well, there is an old beautiful movie, La Vita è Bella, which was filmed there. So probably you have an idea of what it looks like.
Definitely. I saw Anne just wrote in Siena as well. That is a beautiful side trip in Tuscany. So what did you say?
No, Siena is already pretty famous, but maybe not everyone knows Lucca, Arezzo, and
right. Definitely a great point. So, when we think of these old Tuscan villages, you think of a lot of hills. If someone is having a more difficult time walking, maybe they walk more slowly, maybe a ton of hills can be really difficult. Do you have any recommendations for them?
Well, first of all, it's not a race through Tuscany, but it's a walking through Tuscany. It's lonely. We go uphill and we stop here and there with local guides or maybe to enjoy some cappuccino in a cafe. So it's not that difficult after all. But if you really have serious problems walking, there are lots of taxis everywhere, and you can meet us, in the main square. And from there, you can join, of course, the rest of the group in our guided tour. So it's not that strenuous, of course.
Definitely. Great. That's awesome. So I know a lot of you, we're in Rome right now. You have a big connection to Rome. What are some cannot miss attractions in Rome that are not part of our standard itinerary?
Well, now, for example, these are the last days in Rome where you can have access to a beautiful rose garden. It opens in the spring and it stays open until the end of October. It's not part of our tours, but it's easy to access. It's in the very heart of Rome. It's one of my favorite places, where to spend just a little time to enjoy nature, because there is over 1,000 different species of roses in one place. And it's right in front of the Emperor's Palace. So you are by the ruins in a beautiful garden, in a quiet, incredibly quiet place in the very heart of Rome.
Yeah. That sounds idyllic. Very beautiful. Yeah. What about everyone else? What would you recommend?
Well, I like two places in particular. One is, of course, the Trevi Fountain. I never get tired of it. At night and of course in the daytime, you have to be there twice, because it's totally different at night. And then the Pantheon, which is this gorgeous church now, but it used to be a temple in the past. It's absolutely spectacular, breathtaking. So to me, those two places are a must.
Definitely. I think that's a great point of you have to see it twice. You really do. Day and night, it really matters. It's a great point.
Yep.
Linda?
I like climbing all the way up on the Janiculum Hill, and then from there descending all the way down to the neighborhood of Trastevere and browse the alleys and get that feeling of being in a village, but still being in the very heart of the big city.
Oh, yes, I love that neighborhood. Fabrizio, I can see you are itching to give us a hidden gem.
Yeah, Leanne, I'll take it personally. You didn't ask me which is my favorite departure to lead, because as a tour director, I still have a favorite departure.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm kidding. It's the Rome city experience. I like to lead the Rome 7 days tour to go in depth of all of the things that you can see in Rome. But there is one thing that I usually bring my groups to do. You are so romantic, ladies. I am not. I am a foodie. And I will always bring my people to walk through the Jewish area, stop first to have a slice of pizza bianca. It's a bread with olive oil and salt that 11 o'clock when you feel a little bit hungry in the morning, that's the normal thing that you see people around with. After the pizza bianca, we go to the Boccioni pastry place. That's the only one all over Rome to get a Jewish pinza. Many of the go-ahead staff that came to Rome experienced the Jewish pinza, that it's a biscuit full of dried fruit. You will love it.
I already love it and I haven't even tried it. That sounds amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Fabrizio. We do have a few questions here. There's a big interest in Southern Italy, I'm seeing. Deborah has a question. Stefania loves it. Deborah has a question here. I'm interested in the history of Sicily. We have visited, but how I long to go back and take everything in. Are there tours that are richer in history, or are all good tours to Sicily?
Oh, mamma mia, that's yeah. Well, all tours, first of all, in my opinion, are gorgeous in Sicily. Sicily is the melting pot, of course, of Italy, where every single civilization stopped from the the Greeks, the Romans, the Moors, the Normans, the French, the Spanish, you name one, and you find it there. So this is shown basically, in our works of art, in our churches, in our archaeological sites. So you will really enjoy art. But nature in Sicily is also breathtaking. So from the coastal lines to the highest volcano in Europe. So every time of the year and every single tour that we have in Sicily is absolutely worth.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. I'm so upset. I missed my chance. I'll go back another time.
What? You were there.
Yes.
Not to mention the food, the Sicilian food, which sometimes it's slightly different from the rest of Italy, like caponata. That's also one of the things I cooked, of course, during the lockdown, to parmigiana, to pasta con le sarde, and blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Getting dangerous for us too, because for you it's lunchtime, for us it's dinner time.
You're getting hungry as well. Yes, I know. I can see the plates you're patiently waiting on your lap. They look good. So within theme of Southern Italy, Eldora asks, in addition to places that are already visited on tours that are already in the books for Southern Italy, are there other parts of Southern Italy that you would recommend visiting?
You mean something that is not featured on our tours?
Yes.
Well, especially this year, there is a very rural area of Southern Italy that has become quite interesting, and it's called Molizen, which is a very small area. It's really clustered between Campania and Puglia. So it's that territory that you have to cross to go from the west coast to the east coast. That could be an interesting visit if you, let's say, you have some days and you really would like to venture out. It's very rural and it's made of very, very tiny villages. But it's, of course, it's not on our tours because access.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
It might be together with Abruzzo, which is the next region to Molise. Exactly.
Yeah, the next one over Molizen. So the next one up north. So they think they're centrally located, but they're southern like we all are.
Okay, so if they ask, we should tell them, don't worry, we know you're centrally located, you're not southern.
Yeah, one is interesting. But also Calabria. Calabria is a very interesting part of Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. That's a great suggestion.
We go to one place in Calabria, but it's a very large region. So, you know, even those places where our tours go, the regions are so full of hidden gems that you could go back, I don't know, the Amalfi Coast, and from there visit so many different things, and you'll always find something new to see.
Definitely. It's a great suggestion. Great. Well, Dennis is wondering, are there any tours that offer stays in agrotourism, castles, or villas?
Yes, actually, for the next season, there will be many surprises, especially with the food and wine tours. So they're offering at least an experience in agriturismo, in a village, in a small place in the nature. So you can check several itineraries, which include agriturismo as a stay.
It's great. The food and wine tours are unbelievable here. And we actually have another question based off of the food and wine tours. Mark is wondering, I'm a big food and wine guy. Mark, I see you. I'm with you. What are your favorite food and wine tours in Italy?
Well, I already said the food and wine of southern Italy, but I have to say that the one in northern Italy is pretty good too. And the one of Tuscany is pretty good too.
The one in Tuscany as well. So we normally leave them all.
It's a fight. Let's put it this way. We have been having these 3 on our portfolio for quite a while, but we'll soon have another brand new one next year, I think, right? Probably in Puglia. So there you go. I mean, you can go back 4 times, so you don't have to choose.
Yeah, and eat different things every time because our food varies a lot because of historical reasons, because of the climate and the product that we make in each small area. So you can taste different products on each itinerary you go to Italy.
Yeah. That is so cool. That's awesome. And I know a few of you have led tours with our educational tour product. I'm wondering if you can give us a few of the differences you've noticed between leading a go-ahead tour and leading an educational tour with students.
Yeah, okay. I would say that the student tours, we really try to get the kids to see as much as they can in the shortest time possible. Their days are long. Their hotels are not necessarily centrally located. They are not actually. And their culinary experiences are not so refined also because the kids are not so adventurous yet about food, although we do include some foodie experiences with them too. The tours for adults tend to go back to places in a more in-depth way. And the one thing that is absolutely enjoyable on a go-ahead tour is this perfect balance of organized activities and free time, so that people can really indulge and experience the place all the way through. The hotels are more centrally located, the pace is slower, so these are the main differences.
Yeah. I've been on both as well. So I always like to say a student tour is very much meant for students and a go-ahead tour is very much meant for adults. So you can see that throughout everything. Stefania, I'm wondering if you could talk us through how Italians are reacting to the idea of tourists returning to Italy in a safer post-COVID world.
Well, of course, all the Italians are waiting for the tourists to be back here. We are missing them a lot. Everyone is missing them, even people who are not involved, of course, in the tourist business, because, I mean, our country, of course, is based mainly on tourism. So we suffered a lot during the lockdown, but we're still suffering, unfortunately. We miss you guys, the Americans, back to Europe, and I'm sure we will see you soon in Italy. We can't wait, of course. So we are all missing you.
Oh, we really miss you all too. I think we definitely can't wait for that. We have another question that just came in from Catherine. How easy will it be to string 2 separate trips, one after another, if that were possible?
Yeah.
So, and what 2 trips would you recommend stringing together? So taking one trip, staying in Italy, and going on another trip.
Well, the combinations are well open to hundreds of different variety. So you can maybe put together a northern Italy itinerary and a southern Italy itinerary. So it will be like visiting 2 different countries, for example. You can do Sicily and you can do the food and wine of Tuscany. You can do the Puglia, for example, and then you can do Venice, Florence, and Rome, as I mentioned earlier. So there are so many tours that don't cover the same regions, but there are plenty of departures so that you can start from one area and then continue slowly to the next one. I'm sure that people will assist. I mean, the people from the office will be able to assist you in planning that perfectly.
And if you would like to mix something that is go, 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 and then stay, 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 you could definitely do any tour followed by the city stay in Rome.
Actually, many people have already done this. I had several people in my groups that had back-to-back tours combining, 2 different type of tours, so they can enjoy the highlight and then something quieter or cozier. So you can see the different aspects of the Italian country.
Oh, that's so nice. It is really nice to, I know Fabrizio, you brought up the Rome city stay, but to really get to know a city and feel like you're acclimated there and you know your way around, there is something really powerful with that. I think that's a really important piece.
Yeah.
Great. Well, with that, that will be our final question. Thank you so much to all of our tour directors. That was unbelievable. Just we'll end right here with, of course, again, thanking you all so much, making us feel like we lived La Dolce Vita. And if you're all missing Italy and travel as much as I am, then I'm happy to inform you that Go Ahead has over 40 different itineraries venturing to Italy. We have our signature tours like Venice, Florence, and Rome. I know Stefania mentioned earlier, these tours give you a taste of each city where you can learn an overview of the history and of the culture of those cities. The food and wine tour is big hit today. I know Linda was talking about the food and wine tour of Southern Italy and Sicily. So these tours take a deep dive into regional cuisine and local flavors through cooking classes, farmers markets, and most importantly, wine. We have walking tours. I know Katia was talking through walking tour of Tuscany. So these tours allow you to see the country in a different way on your feet. With the buses not being able to go to every corner of the country, walking tours allow you to take your adventure a step further. A joke. And lastly, if you have dreams of experiencing cities or sites not showcased at one of our brochure itineraries, we have private and customized tour options where you can add your own personal touch to the trip. So be sure to go to our website, goaheadtours.com, check out which itinerary you're going to experience next. For myself, I think I'm going to string those 4 food and wine tours all together. They sound really great. As an added note, mark your calendars. We have 2 more spotlights coming up. The first is on Tuesday, October 27th. We're going to shine a spotlight on Greece and hear what our Adriatic neighbors have been up to. And then on Tuesday, November 10th, we're going to connect with our friends across the pond in Ireland and the UK. So you will not want to miss either of those. Also, keep a lookout for an email after this webinar. It's going to include a short survey. It's also going to include a very special offer. So I want to just share a big thank you to our tour directors, Katia, Stefania, Linda, and Fabrizio. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to all of you. Do you have any final words for us?
Thank you, Leanne. I don't know if you want to say something before I...
Well, I hope to see you soon, all of you over here, and host you in our country. I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, thank you for coming today. I'm waiting for you here in Italy.
Cannot wait to see you, and thank you very much for participating today.
And now I would like to do a chin chin with you, but let me tell you something about the chin chin before doing it. It was not such a nice thing in the past. Well, during the Middle Age, it was very, very easy to get poisoned. So when you were visiting someone, to make sure that you didn't put poison in his glass, you were pouring a little bit of his wine in your glass, a little bit of your wine in his glass. And this was making, well, not really
Chin, chin.
chin chin. And since then, we do the chin chin. So, chin chin, everybody.
Chin, chin.
Chin chin. I'll hold my water bottle up. Chin chin. Thank you so much.
Grazie a voi, a presto.
Grazie.
Ciao.
See you
Ciao.
Ciao.